TipMe, a fast, convenient, and reliable mobile money app. With just a few easy clicks, you can make transactions right from your mobile phone. You can buy airtime, send and receive money locally, receive money from abroad, shop at your local supermarkets, or pay your hotel, restaurant, medical, utility, and other bills. Simply download the TipMe app from your Play Store or App Store. Sign up and you are ready to go. To start transacting with your TipMe account, you will need to have money in your wallet. To top up your account, you can use any Visa or MasterCard for a direct top-up. Transfer directly from your bank to your wallet. Visit the TipMe agent closest to you or call customer service for a mobile agent to top you up. Once your wallet is funded, you can begin to enjoy seamless transactions, whether shopping for groceries, on a night out with friends, paying school fees, or donating to a cause. Just click on the Browse and Pay feature on the app to get a full list of businesses that accept payments via TipMe. With a business account, you can set up the ultimate salary payment easily, ensuring that your staff get paid on time. You can also integrate your TipMe account on your website, making it convenient for customers to pay for goods and services on the go. Long lines at the bank? Trouble with ATM withdrawals? You can breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that wherever you are, TipMe has got you covered. With our bank to wallet service, you can simply push money from your bank account to your wallet for instant access to your funds. You can also get cash on request from any TipMe location or have it delivered to you. With the TipMe app, you won't get stranded. You can trust that your transactions are secure and that your wallet is safe. Go cashless with TipMe and keep your wallet safe.
Money.
Welcome to TipMe, a fast, convenient, and reliable mobile money app. With just a few easy clicks, you can make transactions right from your mobile phone. You can buy airtime, send and receive money locally, receive money from abroad.
of leadership.
Okay.
They are very, very unfair. A lot of young people benefited from a scholarship, including President Chairman Molu. I look forward to a day when President Buya will suspend Mobake Molu for not controlling the partisans for attacking candidates. We need to teach civics in all schools across the country. We need for citizens to know their basic duties and responsibilities.
The Constitution is for the people. And before the people make now a constitutional amendment, they must be educated on what they are making.
When they receive this information, they don't even verify. They don't look at the questions on the actual test. There are times I will give a children maybe 40 questions, they give us 50 answers. What do they take the additional 10 questions from? We have gone through a lot. If you realize that you are not satisfied, launch a proper investigation. Let this investigation go on, and then we realize who did wrong or who are the perpetrators, and then they be brought to book and to the public, right?
Show them that we'll work together in making sure we can get to the bottom of this investigation in establishing the perpetrator of the act.
When we have leadership, key actors, key players in the opposition community, we have protection under the law. But even right now, the Liberian National Police is a partisan police.
What a pleasant way to welcome you to today's presentation of the KMTV Morning Show. I am humbled to be here. Today is Tuesday, is the 9th of August, 2022. And it's a great morning in Monrovia. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your location. And welcome to today's presentation of the KMTV Morning Show. There are lots of things happening in the country that we have to discuss and talk about and create the environment that gets better. And so, like we resumed our show on yesterday with that Toga Gateway Macintosh, this morning we will be having a conversation with Dr. Lester Zomatic Tenny. Probably he will come to Zoom and we'll have this very friendly conversation. There were some challenges in between that he can't come in studio, but we're still having on live, so you get his side of the story as he been speculating in all of the loops and corners in Monrovia and in Liberia as a whole. And so just to acquaint you of those issues we have on our plate for discussion before getting Dr. Tenny this morning, we will speak with our correspondents, but firstly we'll look at the local dailies. The local dailies was trending in the news. We'll talk about those ones, and later on, as we getting set up for Dr. Tenny, we'll also be looking at those statements coming from political pundits. The likes of Honorable Yeke Koluba. As you are aware, Honorable Yeke Koluba is in the process of funding opposition protection unit. So he said he's funding this unit that will protect opposition on grounds that the CDC or the ruling establishment have their own side of it. They have the CDC protection unit because during the just ended senatorial election in Lofa, there were too many, read my road, there were too many hits on other individuals. And I think it's against this backdrop, Honorable Koluba is coming up with this, the formulation of this opposition protection unit. We managed to bring Honorable Koluba here probably on Friday or Thursday so that he sit with us and tell us exactly the dream behind this, the rationale. What are those things that is prompting his action? He will sit with us here on probably on Tuesday, that's not Tuesday, on Thursday or Friday to talk issues. But on tomorrow we have Councillor Tiawan Gonglo as our guest. Following that, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo visited the United States and he's back to Liberia. And during his visit to the States, according to him, he visited 12 states. There are too many good news. Tomorrow he will be telling us about, but the trending one is that he said he will file in a lawsuit against the government of Liberia on grounds that the government propagated the violent action that occurred on the 26th of July on Liberia's 175th Independence Day celebration by the CDC Council of Patriots. We'll be looking at that as well. What brought about the statement, we'll manage to analyze it. Probably you'll be coming in with your own point on it as well. And suggestions as he go about taking the lawsuit on the government of Liberia. According to him, all the legal documents are ready, and a few days from now, he's going to be filing that lawsuit against the government of Liberia. Too many things happening in the country. Right after we have digested all of those ones, then we have Dr. Lester Zomatic Tenny. Dr. Lester Zomatic Tenny is one of Liberia's best economists. He's a professor at the University of Liberia and a strong, high-profile individual in the CDC. Though there are too many rigmaroles, but he will be breaking the news right here. He will be telling us exactly why he's not too happy with the CDC. What are those things that he sees not working in the interest of the Liberian people? Dr. Zomatic Tenny will join us very shortly to talk about those ones. I am Amos Thomas Momo, your usual presenter and producer of the KMTV Morning Show. And today is Tuesday, like I said, is indeed the 9th of August 2022. Now, to the local dailies, we'll take a break. When we come back, directly we'll go into our local dailies, and the local dailies will begin with the new, that's the Analyst newspaper. It will tell us exactly what's trending, and from there we'll go to the Inquiry. Just ending the Inquiry newspapers, we'll be taking our correspondence, beginning with
money.
Welcome back to the show, and thanks for rejoining us. Now to the local dailies to tell us exactly what's trending in the news for Tuesday on today. And from the Analyst newspaper, this paper is sold for $40 Liberian, and is volume 23, number 3. The Analyst newspaper is sold for $40 Liberian, and this is volume 23, number 358. And it says McGill's Rublage's subsection stories term report as nonsense and stupid. A strong statement coming up, a very, very strong statement coming up from the Minister of Presidential Affairs of Liberia, the Minister Nathaniel McGill. And looking at those things that are happening on the front page of the Analyst newspaper, China logs Liberia's one China policy. China logs Liberia one China policy. And down to it, like you view it, it say Cummins hosted as honor. Guest as at Earth Londio in Washington, D.C. Cummins hosted as honor. Guest as Earth Londio in Washington, D.C. Now to the Inquiry newspaper. The Inquiry newspaper, it says here, there's an alarming statement coming from the senator of the Liberty Party and the standard bearer of, that's the senator of Grand Bassa County and the standard bearer of the Liberty Party. It said death increases in Bassa due to gang rape. Death increases in Grand Bassa due to gang rape, and it's coming as an alarming statement from Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence. Following that, on the Inquiry newspaper, is the Lofa youth leaders blast at Steve Zago. Senator Steve Zago is the senator of Lofa County, and according to the Inquiry newspaper here, it said youth leaders in Lofa blast at Steve Zago. Now, there's other trending news coming from the CBL, that's the Central Bank of Liberia. They say CBL releases 1 batch of coins next month. Wow. So very soon we're going to be using coins. I think for those of you who know, the back in the days, coins are those round, you know, money that were used back in the days. And CBL is about to launch the first batch of coins next month. I think that is welcoming. That is very, very welcoming. And to the other page, I mean, the other, I think this is the back page of the Inquiry newspaper. It say, criminality or scammed who took Wea's bedroom TV. Who took the Pape TV? You got to bring it back. And so those are some of the issues that are trending in the news. You can get yourself a copy. And the Inquiry newspaper here, I think is sold for $40 Liberian. You can get yourself a copy and go in depth with those things that are happening within the news right there from the Inquiry and the Analyst newspaper. These are some of the things we're talking about. Now, listen to the Minister for Presidential Affairs, Minister McGill. This is a grief statement coming from him. Very, very harsh. He said they report that his succession story as he toured McGibby, Bond County, and the rest of the other counties that he went to is rubbish. He termed it as nonsense and stupid. He termed it as nonsense and stupid. That is a grief statement coming from the Minister of Presidential Affairs. You can get yourself a copy and go in depth with that as it stands. And so that is it from the local dailies. Hoping that as we go on, we'll be having more local dailies so you know exactly what are those things trending in all of the newspapers in Liberia. And then now, we will now go to our correspondents to tell us exactly what are those things happening in other part of Liberia. Taking into consideration, Monrovia is not Liberia. Monrovia is a part of Liberia, and we have other counties that difficulties are in. There are other counties that people are feeling unhappy about some of the situation in the country, and they are also feeling happy about some of those things that are unfolding in the country. This is the reason why at this point we're called on Ben Brooks. Ben Brooks is our correspondent from River G, and Ben Brooks will tell us exactly what's unfolding in River G County. According to him, 2 county officials inspect ongoing rehabilitation work on the 150-foot strategic Joaquin Bridge linking Grand Crew and River G counties. Ben Brooks is joining us just right away as we link up with Ben Brooks right here from River G County. Keep posted. Let's see if we can get Ben Brooks on the line as he tells us exactly how's the inspection going on this bridge. It's a very, very bad bridge. Hoping our guy can just put up that bridge so that people can know exactly how bad and how damaged this bridge is. And the inspectors, 2 officials are inspecting this bridge on the rehabilitation work that is ongoing there. Ben have joined us from River G. Ben, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Amos, and let me say good morning to follow-up of KMTV online this morning, and also to Liberians that are also following.
Okay, so now, Ben, you just inform us that 2 officials in the counties are inspecting the ongoing rehabilitation work on the 150-foot strategic Joaquin Bridge linking Grand Crew and River G counties. Tell us exactly, how's the inspection going on?
Thank you so much. It was over the weekend, the 2 counties, local officials, Superintendent Doris Delore and Dallas, Superintendent Philip Q, of River G and Grand Crew counties met in Weibo, Joaquin. It's about 35 kilometers away from the county capital, Fishtown, to Joaquin. And it is the main route going to Grand Crew County, first town called Dwekin. So this bridge was constructed in in the year the early 70s, according to history, and got damaged in 2010 totally. That no car used to fly on that road, even motorbike, because students because the bridge is situated in the center of the gold mining town called Jobiken, and so for students to cross and go to the other side of the town for even schooling used to be very difficult. So through the advocacy of the two counties officials, legislative caucus of Grand Creek and River G County, they were able to lobby with the national government through the Ministry of Public Work, and according to the county superintendent of River G County, Philip Q, the government has allotted $100,000 United States dollars for the rehabilitation of the bridge, and so therefore the two counties officials, including their development superintendents and the county engineers, met in Jubican to do the inspection of the work to know how far the work have gone. And when we went there, accompanying with the engineers, they told us that the bridge will be completed within the next 3 months, and so therefore the rehabilitation work now is currently ongoing in Jowigan on the bridge.
And so, how far and when do the people of Grand Crew and River G expect the completion of that bridge, according to the engineers that are working on it?
Yeah, the engineer told us that within the next 3 months the bridge will be completed, and when that bridge is completed, you will have the free flow of movement, meaning heavy duties vehicles will start to ply along that road, and there will be a reduction of economic hardship on the people of Grand Creek County, because people from Monrovia or business people from Monrovia passes through River G County, let's say Nema, Granger, River G County through Wipo Kawikin and get branch into Jubican to get to Dworkin or the other part of Grand Creek County, which is very easier route for them. But since that bridge got damaged, it has been very difficult for them to plow that road. They have to pass through Sino, they have to go to two river sets before Grand Basso entering Monrovia. So it has been a huge challenge when it comes to transportation. So most of the business people and citizens that we spoke with during the day of the inspection actually expressed joy and happiness and appreciate President Josh Manuel administration for actually paying attention to the bridge, because it has been issue they have been crying for even during the past government, and so therefore they are hoping that the time being given to them by the two engineers of the two counties actually will be actualized or will be finalized so that they can have a free flow of movement within the county.
Thank you so much, Ben. We're hoping that we can have you on tomorrow. I know you want to add up, but then we can have you adding up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amos, and I appreciate for having me this morning from River G County. Thank you so much. I do appreciate.
Ben Brooks is our River G County correspondent, and he reports this morning from River G County. This is his debut his debut appearance on the KMTV Morning Show. You listen to him very well. Now we will go there to Sino County, where Sagacious is. The lack of fuel oil for ambulance at the Under Referral Hospital in Sino is creating serious challenge for health workers in that part of the county. And of course, we will join Sino County correspondent of KMTV, Sagacious, who will tell us exactly how is it there at the Under Referral Hospital there in Sino. Sagacious is with us. Good morning, Sagacious. How you doing?
Good morning, Amos. So let me say good morning to the many librarians locked down to KMTV. I'm ecstatic to be on the radio. Like I said, it's a call to national duty, but this we will do a high level of objectivity, sincerity, and dedication.
The lack of fuel oil for ambulance at the Under Referral Hospital is creating serious challenge there in Sino. Tell us a little bit about it quickly.
This is very pathetic, and I mean the cry came from the many citizens we spoke to here in Sino County. As you may be aware, the FJ Grant Hospital is the only referral hospital in Sino County, and people from nearby towns and villages far and wide normally use the ambulance, in case of emergency. Now, sometimes you have a pregnant woman in one of the towns and the ambulance is being called. According to the citizen, you have to buy fuel. And if you don't have it, well, it becomes a problem. Either you take the on a motorbike or so. And so we try to talk about Dr. Edison Toba, who is the county health officer. He told us that, the county health is actually challenged when it comes to fuel. fact, he spoke to many Sanoans that they need to come in and help the hospital, especially so the ambulance that is used most often, to transport pregnant women at the hospital.
Is it a government hospital?
Yeah, a government-run hospital.
Oh, okay. And so hoping that the necessary authorities can listen and see how best they can go to the aid of those people there in Sino and bring relief to the free flow of patients and not buying fuel no more. Hoping they can listen and see how best they can find solution to some of the ills at the Une Referral Hospital. Thank you so much.
Thanks a million.
All right, Sagashas joined us this morning from Sino County. They're in... I don't know which corner he's joining us from, but now we'll go quickly to Bond County, and I think Bond will be our live correspondent for today because we have Dr. Tenny, who is on the standby to join us right here. Tatas Yekeyan is our is our Bond County correspondent. He will join us this morning from Bond County. Hope he'll be joining us this morning from Banga City, Bond County. He says Nathaniel McGill calls on Liberians to embrace the work of President We Are ahead of 2023. Nathaniel, that's not Nathaniel, but Tatas Yekeyan is joining us this morning from Bond County, and hoping he joins us in time because we are gradually running out of time. Hoping Tatas can join us this morning and tell us exactly what brought about this one. Let me see if I can connect him from this side. If not, we will definitely go into another thing here. We don't have time in our favor, so we're trying to get Tatas, if you're following, hoping you can join us this morning and tell us exactly what's unfolding there in let's try the other one. If Tatas can join us, that'd be good. If not, we will leave in and talk with the dad who is already on the standby. Tatas Yekeyan, hoping you can join us. Oh, it's like we can't have Tatas this morning. We'll leave it as it is, and then we will take a break. Let me try for the last time. If Tatas can come, then we'll take a break to have Dr. Lester Tenny joining us this morning. Okay, it's like we can have Tatas this morning, and so, but I think, according to the story he's saying, it says Nathaniel McGill calls on Liberians to embrace the work of Dr. Josh Mann, and we are ahead of 2023. We're trying to ask him exactly what brought about that statement by the Honorable Minister for Presidential Affairs. But we can get Tata now, so we will take a short break, and we'll come back. We'll be having a conversation with Dr. Lester Zomatic Tenny. A short break will bring us right back.
Convenient and reliable mobile money app. With just a few easy clicks, you can make transactions right from your mobile phone. You can buy airtime, send and receive money locally, receive money from abroad, shop at your local supermarkets, or pay your hotel, restaurant, medical, utility, and other bills. Simply download the TipMe app from your Play Store or App Store. Sign up and you're ready to go. To start transacting with your TipMe account, you will need to have money in your wallet. To top up your account, you can use any Visa or MasterCard for a direct top-up. Transfer directly from your bank to your wallet. Visit the TipMe agent closest to you or call customer service for a mobile agent to top you up. Once your wallet is funded, you can begin to enjoy seamless transactions, whether shopping for groceries, on a night out with friends, paying school fees, or donating to a cause. Just click on the Browse and Pay feature on the app to get a full list of businesses that accept payments via TipMe. With a business account, you can set up the ultimate salary payments easily, ensuring that your staff get paid on time. You can also integrate your TipMe account on your website, making it convenient for customers to pay for goods and services on the go. Long lines at the bank? Trouble with ATM withdrawals? You can breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that wherever you are, TipMe has got you covered. With our bank to wallet service, you can simply push money from your bank account to your wallet for instant access to your funds. You can also get cash on request from any TipMe location or have it delivered to you. With the TipMe app, you won't get stranded. You can trust that your transactions are secure and that your wallet is safe. Go cashless with TipMe and keep your wallet safe.
Orange money. Welcome to TipMe, a fast, convenient, and reliable mobile money app. With just a few easy clicks, you can make transactions right from your mobile.
Test against on development.
So we have been involved in the community. The issue of, doing something, showing a footprint. We have actually been involved in the community doing things.
The whole issue about elections, the candidate tell the people who are you, why you want a job.
Most of the major challenge in my GB, especially the young folks.
We want that tax to come with compensation.
Okay.
We empowered those young people with employment opportunities.
Okay.
For me, it was imperative because these were young people that were disenfranchised and marginalized in our society.
Even in the opposition, his political leader better not hear. Zero disagreement with Costa because of that.
Settle with Honorable Cabinet Janet. We owe him, and it is already been said that indeed we should pay.
Would you, a Mexican, to be Liberian Honorary Consul in Mexico? The answer is no.
They are not charging the national president the fact and the truth of leadership.
Okay.
They are very, very unfair. A lot of young people benefited from a scholarship, including President.
Welcome back to the show, and thanks for rejoining us. We sincerely apologize for the delay you experienced. But this morning, like I said, we will be talking with the one of Liberia's best economists. Is a professor at the University of Liberia and a high-profile individual in the CDC, though there are some little rigmarole, but he will tell us exactly what are those things happening in the CDC and his own position in the CDC as it stands. He also be telling us some of the economic challenge in the country from his own experience and background. We have Dr. Lester Zomatic Tenny as our guest. We're already out of time. With no time to waste, we're having now. Dad, we want to say welcome and good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning.
How's life?
Well, life has always been good, and we give God a blessing. He has always been good to us. We have a stable country that can allow all of us to put forward our views. So life is good once you have peace of mind. Yeah.
Okay. We were expecting you in studio, but there are too many challenges in the country, so I think. But anyway, thanks for coming up, and we're hoping that we can have a very good conversation. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Many persons have listened to the name Dr. Tenny and don't know who this person is.
Well, I'm just an ordinary, humble person. I came from Cathedral High School, went to the University of Liberia where I studied economics. And unfortunately, on the verge of my graduation, because I was in student leadership, we had an unfortunate situation where the government of Chasteda at that time saw us as an enemy, for which we had to make a pilgrimage out of Liberia into exile. A daunting task, actually. And then we were fortunate to receive some scholarship to go further in school. We did our master's degree in economics and another master's in petroleum economics at the University of Liverpool. And finally, we studied economics at the PhD level in Nigeria, Ife, the great Ife, Obafemi Awolowo University. I hold a PhD degree in macroeconomics with emphasis on the Liberian economy. Actually, my dissertation was focused on the Liberian economy. Very interesting dissertation, very interesting findings. I returned to the University of Liberia because I was sent by the University of Liberia, as a matter of fact, to do my PhD. And I have been there for a little over 10 years. When I returned, I became an assistant professor. Based on my research ability and the number of publications I have, I'm now an associate professor of economics. Recently, I was appointed as the dean of the A. Romeo College of Business and Public Administration, the largest college at the University of Liberia, with over 11,000 students and 4 departments. We are trying to expand the program because the graduate school of business will be coming to the college, to the business college. So we want to expand the program. We want to, for the first time, launch the Masters of Science in Economics. We're going to launch the Bachelors of Science in Banking and Finance. And we're going to have series of different certificate and diploma programs that will expand the scope of the university and serve as a source of revenue. You know, the university has this tuition free operation, but we have to focus on other innovative ways to buttress government's effort to ensure that the platform for learning is not challenged, but so we seek out assistance, and we ourselves must be creative enough to mobilize our own intellectual capital to attract the necessary funding through different innovative means. We are on that path already. We inherited a college that was extremely dismally run, no logistics. Recently, the Central Bank of Liberia, through my initiative, were able to provide computers for all of my departments. I mean, imagine you have a department where no computer was available, no computer. Fortunately, the folks at the central bank answered my plea, and they gave 5 computers for the 4 departments, and another one we sent to the graduate school. So we are on the lookout for chairs. Seating capacity is a challenge. So we wrote few donors to assist with, including the president of Liberia and the Minister of Finance, the Minister of State. We wrote all of them, since apart from the president, the Minister of State, the Minister of Finance, they are all alumni of the university. I'm yet to receive. I'm sure they are still studying what type of donation they will give.
Okay.
I'm still hopeful on the president being the first partisan of education in this country. I'm sure he will respond to our request for our students. We have 11,000 students doing computers, and we only have 40 computers. 40.
Too bad.
But that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So we requested some form of assistance from national government, that in order to provide a minimum infrastructure for education, we need to do a little more investment.
We have
then all my people, but we need to uplift the quality. We need to uplift the quality of our faculty. We need to encourage most of them who still have the time and energy to pursue higher education. In fact, when I took over, people were still teaching things that were taught in the 90s. We radically intervened and immediately put some flavor in the academic process by modernizing some of the materials that were being taught.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So Dr. Tenny come with lots of ingredients to the show. He's a high-profile individual. Now, let's look at, I just want to get in depth with this conversation because time is fast spent. From your own experience and your study, I want you to give us some of those lapses you can point out as it relates to economic challenge or challenges in the country. What are those things you think are economic things you think are not working?
Hello, I didn't get anything you said.
You getting me now?
Yeah, I'm getting you now. What
I'm saying from your study, I'm asking you, what are those things you can point out, those challenges you can point out economic-wise in the country?
The Liberian economy is challenged both as a result of external factors, we call it exogenous factors, and endogenous factors. You see, the economy works as the heartbeat of any country, right? There are some fundamentals that we needed to get right. And in order for the economy to flourish, to remain buoyant, to remain robust, to remain strong, we needed to look at certain sector, the real sector of the economy. The real sector of the economy is the productive sector. That include agriculture, that include energy, and we needed to diversify into small industries. But we really didn't do that when we took office, when we took power. And the worst problem we brought upon ourselves was the so-called harmonization. Harmonization was where our problem emanated from. And the reason for that is that when you tamper with disposable income, when you tamper with take-home pay, it has a ripple effect on the macroeconomy. For the fact that take-home pay tend to serve or empower you to engage in economic activities, but when you tamper with take-home pay, it has a ripple effect in the sense that it reduces purchasing power. And when purchasing power is reduced, it affects saving as well as consumption. if you can understand, savings, investment comes as a result of savings. But if people are not saving, there will not be investment, because investment is a function of saving. And saving cannot occur when disposable income is harmonized as within the context of what we did here. So we brought our own problem upon ourselves when we harmonized people's salary. We affected their ability to save, and that reduced the ability to invest. On the other hand, we have relied too long on the primary product as our major source of revenue generation. We have never added value to our basic export commodities like iron ore. And all primary products do not attract appreciated prices on the international market, because they have to be converted to value-added product, to finished product. So we needed to diversify the economy into small-scale manufacturing to add value on what we have and what we usually export, but we also didn't do that. There were a lot of things that we didn't do that we could have done, that could have changed the narrative of reducing unemployment, especially youth unemployment. We have arable land, vast land. We have a very youthful population. Why we didn't diversify the economy into agriculture? Why we keep delaying the mechanization of agriculture when we have able-bodied men who can be employed in that sector? That sector will generate millions and millions of dollars. And as a strategy, you don't focus on long-term gestational crops like 3-4 years crop. Look for these cash crop, 6 weeks. You can plant corn, for example. You're not a consumer of corn, but right next door, Nigeria has a market for your corn. All you need to do is to convert corn to corn flour and ship it to Nigeria. You don't have crude oil. Nigeria has crude oil. So you send millions of tons of corn to Nigeria. You sell those corn in Nigeria, and you'll be able to reduce your repatriation of hard-earned dollar for the purchase of crude oil. You can use the money you are selling your corn to buy the crude oil that you don't have here, and reduce the burden on yourself. So there were a lot of things that we could have done. However, Minister Tua has done well in trying to stabilize the economy. Inflation is at a single digit for now, thanks to the central bank intervention. But we are still worried that the prices of basic commodities continue to escalate, and that poses a challenge when income is fixed and prices remain fluctuating. A damaged disposable income, reduced disposable income.
All right. Now, Dr. Tenny, let's look at your own present relationship with this CDC. In recent time, we listened to you in a live podcast where you were expressing your bitterness with the current administration and disagreeing with the leadership of the CDC. What brought about that?
No. I have a very, very harmonious relationship with the CDC. The party remains. When I say CDC, I'm talking about the Congress for Democratic Change and not the Coalition for Democratic Change. Okay. I have a very favorable relationship with the structure, the party structure, the party members. My point of divergence is with the government.
Fine, that's what I'm talking about, because the government is the CDC-led government.
Well, the party itself has been marginalized by the very government that gave birth to it. The government has isolated itself from its root, the party. And this is my point of concern, that how are we going to continue the mandate when the party that's supposed to facilitate your platform is being disconnected from the governance system? And that is my concern. We have a good relationship.
Disconnection. What are you trying to point out?
Well, the political leader of the party, which is the president of the country, the original ideology and platform of the party, he has disconnected himself in the sense that those who brought forth his ascendancy are the ones who are feeling the blunt of his rule, his misrule. And we said that is an unfortunate situation because the party didn't create a government for the party's member to continue to suffer under his own arrangement. So that disconnect is a result that our partisans are suffering. They are receiving a blunt of the economic hardship. They disconnect. Those who benefit or those who enjoy the largesse of the governance structure were never significant figure in the party. They are the ones benefiting from the sweat and blood of our partisans that stood in the queue for over 12 years and now another 5 years. So there is a serious disagreement, there's a serious rift, and my concern is how do we excite the political base that have been forsaken, that have been marginalized? How do we get these young men? Yes.
Dr. Tenny, are you trying to say that the standard bearer, who's the president of Liberia, is not listening to the party mandate, wherein probably you say, okay, now the party or the government should buy digital camera, and the government, I mean the president said, well, we can buy digital camera, but we'll buy camera phone. Are you trying to say that?
So for example, we came on a mantra to fix the country. We came on the mantra change for hope or hope for change. I don't even know which one we came on, which one of the thing we already came on. But we came to fix the country.
Okay.
Recently, a few students from the Student Unification Party decided to remind us to fix the country. Because we told the Liberian people that we were coming to fix the country. When students remind us that, look, you said you were going to fix the country, how come we begin to misinterpret the intent of the student and begin to organize a contra protest to brutalize students to the extent that one of them is on his dying bed?
And so those videos are from the CDC.
Is a visible example. But who constitute the political base of CDC? The grassroots. Those are the dispossessed students, the children of market women. These are our constituency. The very students that you brutalized today are the very students that made you president. How come all of a sudden you have reneged on that obligation to remember their plight? Where in our manifesto that you will brutalize students when these students constitute the numerical strength of your party? How come the demographic structure of the CDC comprised of the young people? Most of them are in schools. Most of them are at the University of Liberia and other universities. How come now they become the target of hate when they're reminding you of what we said we will do? We came to change the future of this country from that elitist form of governance to a governance structure that will reflect and manifest the generality of our people. How come now we are jittering when students, innocent students, tell us, look, but you said you were going to fix this country? How come we are becoming afraid of the very student when they remind us that you said you will fix the country, so fix the country?
So this means that Dr. Tenny, who is a hierarchy in the CDC, is aware of the CDC Council of Patriots.
I don't even know which group is that Council of Patriots. It's a renegade group. The CDC has structure. They have auxiliaries, right? You have the Women League. You have the Youth League. There is nothing in the Congress for Democratic Change auxiliary structure that call itself the Council of Patriots. That is a renegade. The disappointment was we didn't see the extent of their intent. We should have rejected that attachment of Council of Patriots to the party's name because it does not reflect the intent of the party.
There are pictorial evidence of high-profile individuals in the CDC, the legs of the chairman of the CDC, Momo, the legs of the youth chairman, Jefferson Koji, who's now the city mayor. And you know, amalgamating with those individuals, having good time with them, propagating their interest.
I cannot speak for Koji. I can speak for Molu. Koji, okay. I mean, Molu is a very peaceful man. Molu is a unifier. Molu is a party chairman that encourages the expansion of the party through the recruitment process. So his involvement with the young people is as a result of his encouragement that the party has still the generational acceptance that the party is a young people based party. So his involvement with the young people, be a former criminal or a former rebel, does not speak to the fact that he endorsed violence. Molu is never a violent person. I will not speak for Koji because I do not know him in terms of his other activity, but I can speak for Molu.
Why you make of Koji recent statement on your Facebook page? You make a statement and on that. Why his recent press conference?
What was it about? He will mobilize people to counter protest. I felt that was reckless, and that statement will haunt him tomorrow. I believe that was irresponsible to make in this kind of society. Look, let us not forget that the Liberian people went through 14 years of a bloody civil conflict. You cannot scare the Liberian people. They have masked that tendency of being violent because they have stabilized their lives. You do not have the capacity to intimidate the Liberian people. When you provoke them into action, they will speak. And they are capable of moving into action. But people have decided to abandon certain traits that they had before and pick up the broken pieces to move ahead in a civilized manner. Don't underestimate the Liberian people. These are people who, when you provoke, they will retaliate. And they will retaliate even more aggressively than your provocation. So you don't scare them. You can't scare them.
The president of Liberia.
It's just a worrying phenomenon because he being the chair, the youth league chair. I think his statement was a bit honor sensitive because eventually, these things will play out in your future, right? There have always been serious suspicion of his involvement in all sort of dangerous things. Whether they are proven, whether they are not proven. But when you begin to validate this suspicion, you incriminate yourself in the court of public opinion, and tomorrow they will be used against you. So I think that his statement did not reflect the ideals of the party. The party is not a violent party. The party is not a talkish party, not a hooligan party. There may be some members who come from a hooligan background, but the party itself espouses a peaceful mantra, a peaceful agenda. Look at the Standard Bearer, for example. He being a peace ambassador. The only unfortunate thing that he has taken on a false Weah, and the true identity of George Weah no more manifest and connect with the ordinary people. But he's a man of peace.
As he take on the false Weah, like you said, what do you think is the root cause? Is it he's listening to those around him? What are those things you think is not working well?
Look, my brother, the damage of our party is a result of just few group of very selfish and dangerous people.
Who are those?
And these are I told you the other time, Nathaniel Fallow McGill is one of those that has brought this kind of disconnect between the political leader of the party, the president, and the ordinary partisans of the party. McGill has been the single most dangerous person to the agenda of the party. And I don't know how come everybody seems to be afraid of this ordinary guy. But we need to speak truth to ourselves. We need to tell this man, look, brother, this is not the way we're supposed to proceed. Our partisans didn't sign up for this. Our people didn't sign up to be marginalized, to be oppressed, to be suppressed, to bear the brunt of the economic hardship. And most of all, you are becoming insensitive to their plight. You can accumulate all of the riches, but do not provoke the people by showing off your riches. Do not provoke the people. You go and begin to, not too long ago, you could not afford to pay rent. Now you're building homes in the middle of the river. That's provocation to the ordinary and poverty-stricken people. You make your money in government, it's for yourself. Tomorrow you will give account of it. Whether you got it legally or whatsoever means, it is your own money, but do not provoke the poverty-stricken people. Those who pay their dues by standing on a queue to vote the political leader today are the ones who are being marginalized and victimized by our misrule. And I'm talking about myself, we never stand for that.
Yes.
And the real problem will not be the opposition. The problem that the president will have if he doesn't listen will come from us. We will pose a formidable opposition to President Weah if he doesn't listen.
Wow.
What is the guarantee that we're going to carry George Weah 2023, that there will be a change in the governance system when we can't see the change now?
Is
Our people
McGill
are
the
not
only
stupid.
person who is creating this problem?
I single him out because he's the mastermind of the evil disconnect that has beclouded our political agenda. I single him out. He is the single most mastermind.
Now,
and we need to speak truth to him. I mean, he's a young man. Not too long ago, we all were at the University of Liberia. We all talked about a changed Liberia. How come now we driving the governance process and we're doing the same thing that we spoke against yesterday? Yesterday it was stated that we saw his governance system as being bad. It was early that we saw the patronage system where she included her 5 friends and her children in governance. Today we're bringing in our sister and our girlfriend and our wife. If those things were wrong yesterday, how come they are becoming good today? How come they are becoming right today? That's a contradiction. And that's a contradiction we all need to resolve.
Do you see, moving forward to 2023, do you see the turnout in 2005, the turnout in other elections that President Weah contested in? Do you see similar turnout coming up in 2023 with the way they are proceeding and citizens are not too okay with the way they're working in this government?
It is never too late to change. It is change. Decide to abandon those people that become excess baggages for his government, the people will rally around him because the people still believe in his mantra of change. The problem with Weah is not Weah. Well, we can include him because he doesn't want to change. And look, we'll force him to change. Okay. Because the greatest opposition that CDC will have will be CDC and not the opposition party. The greatest threat to President Weah Excellency is the CDC. Because we mobilize the forces to either accept him or reject him. That depends on whether he wants to change or not. And we are capable of doing that. So we are telling him in a very harmonious and peaceful way that, uncle, brother, you need to change. You need to reflect where you came from. If you do not reflect, we will pose a formidable force to you. We will pose a formidable force to you.
Now,
so if you're thinking that opposition, the disintegration of the opposition is your victory, watch what will happen from at the level of the party.
Now,
watch what will happen.
The president said that there was no security. There is no security in the country, and everyone should be security for themselves. In recent time, his Nashville resident was burglarized and some of the materials was taken. What are those things you think? Is it that there's no security at all? Is it that this government is not able, is not in the position to provide security for her citizens? Looking at the president, the first citizen in the country who's been burglarized and televisions and other equipments. Some are saying that the reason why the president went there very early is because huge amount of money was taken. Do you think there is actually no security, like what the president said?
My brother, you know, we are not kids, right? Mm-hmm. Between you and myself, you really think there was a burglary in church? We are heavily fortified house. I mean, honestly, you really think someone from outside is capable of infiltrating the trained EPS security detail to enter George Weah house?
Where do you think that the news is coming from? That is turning all over the
brother, you all know,
the
we
media.
all know our main weakness, right? We all know our main weakness. We all know money. You better ask the many people that will spend the weekend there.
What are some of the weaknesses you point out?
They check some of their vehicles that left that time, you know. Everybody gets, we are that somebody can steal from him.
What are some of his weaknesses?
Huh?
What are some of your weaknesses?
I think it's a weakness that we all men have, right? I mean, we don't need to express it yet, but between you and myself, let me ask some of those. Let me ask those that spend the weekend to the house. You know, who can see from Joe? We are here in house. That didn't make sense. But that I think right, we are jovial guys. Sometimes he try to de-stress people by bringing in this humor, right? We know our men get hit bad habits, so I mean, that lead that story. Nobody stole from our brother.
All right. So now, to your own personal stuff is a little bit. Do you say possess the employment of Nuka?
I left Nuka. I cannot be the dean of the whole Nuka. Even the prospect. At some point in time, I was convinced that it didn't make sense to continue to be in the government, right?
Okay.
I could have been anywhere else. I was still going to leave. So I didn't leave Nuka because of Nuka, but I left Nuka because I didn't want to be in government anymore. Because it didn't make sense for me, being a man of principle, to remain in a system that was reflecting hardship on our people. I felt it was a disservice to my country and my own conscience that our people who empower us with votes are the ones who are receiving the blunt of our rule. So it could have been anywhere else, I was going to walk away. The group in the unfortunate part is that, you know, while working at Noka, I was not being paid for a very long time, but I'm sure we have a responsible government that will address that issue. But I walked away because I didn't want to be bothered with anything about the government. I was prepared to focus on building the party, ensuring that the party reconnect with our forgotten base. And don't underestimate what is happening. There's a revolution that is currently occurring in the party. President, we will be forced to listen to the party, or the party will provide an alternative.
If he doesn't listen, is there any mind of having a split and going to another side that will formulate a new president?
Everything is on the table. Everything is on the table. We cannot split the party, but worst case, we can expel people from the party. The party remains strong. The party is supreme. We will not advocate for a division in the party. The party under the leadership of Molu is a very strong and formidable party. But we can expel people who do not espouse the ideology of the party. That is also possible on the table.
Okay.
But we have not reached to that point yet. When we reach there and people don't seem to understand where we want, we will make radical decisions, because we will take over the party very soon.
Like now the president is not listening to you people who runs the party. Do you think he will be a wanted president comes 2023?
My brother, the decision of George Weah becoming the next president is a decision based on what he decides to do. Remember that George Weah fails to be on the ballot. We the one will decide to campaign whether the people should look at that face or the people should look at an alternative face. We are saying that you still have the face that resonates with the people. Reflect on where you came from as George Weah. Forget about the current George Weah, because the current George Weah is a disconnected George Weah. So he still possess the magnetic field that attract people to him. You know, his greatest enemy is his new self, the false self, and we will force that false self out of him. If he doesn't change that false self, we will find an alternative. But we're not going to split the party. The party remains very potent, very powerful under the leadership of Molu, and we ensure that Molu continue the chairmanship of the party. I'm going to take over certain strategic position in the party too. And you know, we can hold the party and George Weah and those group of people behave the way they behave. It's not possible. It's just not possible. Our partisans, you think we will be at the level of the party and then we will win, and the thing that happened, our first time will happen again? It will never happen under our leadership.
It will never happen.
Take to Akaro's Great Bank. It will never happen on our leadership.
You say?
I say, you think that we will be at the leadership of the party and what happened to our party during the first term will happen again? It will never happen. It will never happen. I can bet George we or anybody. It will
How are you
never
talking
happen.
about Gray? You said Akara Gray Bank?
No, I say you can take that to Akara's great bank. And Akara's great
Oh,
take it to the
okay. All right. Now we have this morning Dr. Lester Zomatic Tenny. I love the middle name Zomatic Tenny as our guest this morning. 5 minutes to go, and then we will wrap up. We leave the honorable doctor to go and have some rest. Probably he have other activities to go. We'll talk for 5 minutes. Now let's look at your own take on the opposition. Do you think there are some things that you people as current leaders of the country need to work on, looking at the way the opposition is holding on?
Well, we need to change the narrative. We need to, the people in this country are suffering, right? I mean, that is a given. The people are suffering. We need to impact and reduce their suffering. We need to focus on livelihood. Building roads and other interventions, they are good. But the problem in this country is, what will my children eat? What will I provide for my family? That is the bread and butter issue of this country. We need to address that. Yesterday, I heard that the price of rice will likely increase. How do you manage an economy of hardship and you expect the people to give you a second mandate? We need to be conscious of the blunt of the suffering on our people, because these are the people that will go to tomorrow to petition us for a second term. How can we keep imposing hardship on them and we think that they will accept us again? Possible to look like that's an economic condition. The people are suffering. The people are suffering. We need to address that issue of their suffering, because that is a bread and butter issue that will determine your victory tomorrow or your defeat.
Okay. Final question, Doc. What are those actions you think now the president should be taking as we move towards 2023?
Look, the president needs to be very serious here. We at the level of the party, we don't like to see Namagay. That is a given. He has been the major culprit of our problem. If you want to maintain your friendship with Magay, we can't determine your friend. Send him somewhere in Saudi Arabia to be ambassador there. The fact that you keep bringing Magay around infuriates the very partisan of the party. Oh, forget about me, because Magay and myself, we are colleagues, we are friends. But we're looking at the ordinary children. Let the children about Magay, the venom, the hate against Magay is so intensified. I don't understand George, I really don't understand George. Nobody tell you abandon your friendship with certain people, but detach them for this political season so that the children will be convinced that these people that affected their life are not around you anymore.
I know they are not around anymore. And then if he cannot listen, you people will come with a new face comes 2023.
We have not reached that stage yet. We still think that George Weah will listen to the critical voices in the party. We have not reached the stage of replacing George Weah. I mean, we think that he's still marketable. We still think that he possesses what it takes to rule this country. So we have not reached that stage yet. We still get a few more months for him to make some significant changes. So we will keep reminding him that you need to change. Those are last-minute desperate results. But it will not be good for all of us. It will not be good for the party. It will not be good for him. So we still believe that there can be some level of intervention from his part.
Thank you so much, Dad, for talking to us this morning. And finally,
and I apologize.
I
was actually coming to the studio. I did the mistake you and I made yesterday. Where I didn't ask you where was the studio. Early morning I usually swim. I left my phone by the swimming pool, and because I wanted to beat the traffic, I ran all the way to town.
Wow!
And I didn't know that the studio was just right on the back road. I mean, but I'm available any other time that you invite me in person.
Yeah, next week.
Any other time I'm available now that I know. In fact, let us conclude. Come on that back road before I made another mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get the proper direction offline.
All right, there. Thank you so much for talking to us this morning, and we're hoping that we
Thank you,
can
my
have
brother.
another time so you talk.
Yes.
All right. He's Dr. Lester Zomatic Tenny. He's a stalwart, a very huge carrier of the CDC. He holds a very strategic position in the CDC, and you listen to him. He was very blunt. He was straight to words. He said truth to power, and I think these are some of the things that will change the dimension of the country to the positive trend. He's hoping that we can have him on next week, maybe Friday or so he comes in studio and we can have a friendly discussion. But until that, we want to say thanks so much to all of our followers, those who've been with us up to now. We are very grateful to have all of you joining us. Until tomorrow we'll be having Councillor Tiawan Gongolo as our guest. The presidential hopeful comes 2023. He will sit with us to discuss issues, legal issues and political issues surrounding Liberia. Until tomorrow, my name is Amos Thomas Momo, bidding you a pleasant rest of the Tuesday from Liberia. Hoping all of our correspondents keep in tight, and then we can have a wonderful conversation tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Nugu is contesting against poverty. He's contesting against underdevelopment.
So we have been involved in the community, the issue of, doing something, showing a footprint. We have actually been involved in the community doing things.
The whole issue about elections, the candidate tell the people, who are you? Why you want a job?
Most of the mental challenge in my GB, especially the young folks.
We want that tax to come with compensation.
Okay.
We empowered those young people with employment opportunities.
Okay.
For me, it was imperative because these were young people that were disenfranchised and marginalized in our society.
Even in the opposition, his political leader Benin that year, serious disagreement with Costa because of that.
Settle with Honorable Cabinet Janet. We owe him, and it is already been said that indeed we should pay.
Would you, a Mexican, to be Liberian Honorary Consul in Mexico? The answer is no.
They are not telling the national president the fact and the truth of leadership.
Okay.
They are very unfair.
A lot of young people benefited from a scholarship, including President Chairman Molu. I look forward to a day when President Buya will suspend Mobake Molu for not controlling the partisans for attacking candidates.
We need to teach civics in all schools across the country. We need for citizens to know their basic duties and responsibilities.
The Constitution is for the people. And before the people make now a constitutional amendment, they must be educated on what they are making.
When they receive this information, they don't even verify. They don't look at the questions on the actual test. There are times I will give a children maybe 40 questions, they give us 50 answers. What do they take the additional questions from?
We have gone through a lot. If you realize that you are not satisfied, launch a proper investigation. Let this investigation go on, and then we realize who did wrong or who are the perpetrators, and then they be brought to book and to the public, right?
Show them that we'll work together in making sure we can get to the bottom of this investigation in establishing the perpetrator of the act.
When we have leadership, key actors, key players in the opposition community, we have protection under the law. But even right now, the Liberian National Police is a partisan police.